So, who is with us for the first time today at their very first success day? Well, you guys should stand up because we need to recognise you first. Well done. Great to see so many of you here. You're very welcome. Welcome to the Madhouse. I say that because I love seeing the reaction of some of our guests when they come into this room, because it is going to be a little noisy today, and at times we will get a little excited, and we will be recognising a lot of people across the stage today for the success that they're having, and those people will be at every stage of our business, from people who are just getting started, literally in their first few weeks of their new entrepreneurial business, through to people that have been with us for several years. And this concept of recognition is something that's very important to us in Forever. We believe in encouraging people to be the best that they can be. We believe in encouraging people to see that within each of us there is a great deal of often untapped talent. And we want to encourage as many people as we can to see that there is a different way that you can build something substantial for you and your family. And you're going to see lots of evidence of that today. And I'm hoping that we're going to be able to encourage some of the people that we're recognising today, maybe to briefly share their story with you, so that you can get a sense of the diverse range of ages and backgrounds. Well, you know, there isn't a stereotypical successful Forever distributor. So if you're here for the first time today, that should be encouraging to you to know that anybody can build this business as long as they apply enough energy and the right principles to that. And we hope that you're going to go away today with a real sense of the opportunity that could be for you here in Forever. And I'm going to start our day, as I always do, by sharing with you really the story of Forever, I guess, a business that has provided a remarkable opportunity to many, many people around the world. And, you know, if I reflect back to my first few success days, 19 years ago when I became a distributor for Forever, I think we had 75 people or something like that. John, you'll remember this. In fact, back in those days, we used to put tables out with the chairs so that the room looked fuller, so that if we did get guests in, they'd think there's probably more going on than there actually was back then. Now it's quite the opposite. We're looking for bigger and bigger venues all the time. So a business that's been a phenomenal, not only local success here in the UK, but a phenomenal global success. We just celebrated our 35th birthday a few weeks ago. On the slide now you have a picture of our founder, Rex Morn, who literally 35 years ago had a vision to start his own business and to provide an opportunity to people all over the world to do exactly the same thing. We still have many of the original board members that Rex recruited all those years ago in place. Many of our directors have been in place for over 3 decades. And alongside them now sit the younger generation, which are, of course, our succession plan for the future, one of whom is Greg Morn, who is our president and the son of Rex. And when I looked at the business 19 years ago, and I know I speak for many of the leaders who over the last years have become engaged with Forever, that gave me a great deal of confidence that this is a business that knows exactly where it's going. It has a clear vision of what the future is going to be, and it's our ambition as a business to be open in every country that we feel comfortable doing business in. Currently we operate in about 156 different markets around the world, and so for you and I as distributors, that means that we have an opportunity to build a business, if we wish, in any one of those markets. Most of our established distributors, and that can be somebody actually who's been with us a relatively short period of time, build overseas businesses, often by default. We live in multicultural societies. We travel more than probably any other time in history, and as we do so, we meet people from different countries. In sharing the Forever opportunity with them, if they choose to get started in their home country, they become part of your team. And so we share with you today not just an opportunity for you to get into business for yourself locally, but you can do it nationally and indeed internationally. And you can be confident that our asset base and our cash situation means that this is a business that's going to be around in the next 3 decades to keep paying us the bonuses that we've created from our hard work. We're cash rich and we're debt free, which puts us in a really, really strong position. When we open up in new markets, we fund those markets from the profits of our established companies. So we don't have to borrow money in order to develop our business. You can see from the screen there a substantial asset base, over $1.5 billion worth of prime property around the world. And Longbridge Manor being just one example of it. And Longbridge Manor is our head office here in the UK, near Junction 15, near Warwick. And as with all of our buildings, very much an open door policy there. We see that as a building not just for the staff to work from, but also for you as our distributors to build something from. I think the most significant statement we make about our history is the statement that's on the bottom of that slide. Consistent growth for 35 years. You know, we're doing extremely well at the moment, and that could be because there's a recession on. But we've also done extremely well when there was no recession on. So this is a business that performs well in bad times and also well in good times. It's a model that's proven to be able to stand the test of time, 35 years of success around the planet. So we've been trading in the UK since 1993, so we're on the map in terms of the number of years that we've been here. But I can tell you, we're still the best kept secret in Britain. Would you agree? You know what, even in my local village, in fact, I've got to tell you a story about my local village. I've had somebody move in 3 doors away from me who grows herbs and potatoes and that sort of thing. It's got quite a big operation down the road. And on my car, I have R2 FLP, for Forever Living Products. So I'll meet him in the street the other day, and he said, "Are you in the growing business as well?" I said, "Well, I am sort of in the growing business, yes. Why do you ask?" He said, "Well," he said, "your number plate," he said, "is FLP, flat leaf parsley." Absolutely true story. So anyway, I'm trying to convince him to grow a bit of aloe in his plantations now. So even in my local village, we're still the best kept secret. So I can promise you, you know, as you look around the room today, you could be forgiven. I think we've got sort of 1,400 people in the room today. You could be forgiven if you're here for the first time to think, well, you know, have I missed the opportunity? You know, as the big opportunity passed, did I need to be in the very early days? And that's a frequently asked question for me from guests. You know, have I missed the boat? I can promise you that even a decade ago, this was a harder business to build because we didn't have anywhere near the infrastructure that we have in place today. We didn't have anywhere near the tools that we have in place today. And probably more importantly, we didn't have anywhere near the success stories that we have amongst our distributor base today. And that's really, really important for you as a guest to be able to relate to somebody like you that's built a successful business using exactly the same products, exactly the same marketing plan, and probably surrounded by exactly the same negative friends and family that we all tend to accumulate over the years. So here's some of the reasons why we're growing as rapidly as we are, some of the trends that we're riding. And if you're going to get into business for yourself, I think it's important to be in the right place at the right time. You want to be riding positive trends rather than trying to build a business that's going against trends. And one of the big trends that we have at the moment in the UK is one of the look good, feel good factor. We have an aging population. In fact, if you look at some of the press reports, you and I could be living to well over 100, and certainly the next generation could be doing that. And that's only good if, as we get older, we're still mobile and we still feel fit and healthy and we can still enjoy our lives. And more and more people now, I think, are recognizing that we have a role to play in the management of our own health. There are things that we can do to improve the odds that we'll be healthy. And you only need to open a daily newspaper to get reference to that literally every day of the week. You know, we could do with more exercise perhaps, or drinking more water, or drinking less alcohol, or smoking less, all the things that we now know influence our health. And amongst that is a growing number of people who recognise that it's very difficult to get the key nutrients that we need each day in order to be healthy from our food. And so more and more people now looking to supplement so that they stay fit and healthy, or if they're already not well, looking to manage any health condition that they might have in a safe, natural way. And we've seen an explosion in the health and wellness market in the last decade. There are many, many trend predictors now that are predicting that the health and wellness industry will be bigger than the pharmaceutical industry when it comes to the management of our health. It's probably the same in your supermarket. As I occasionally go to the supermarket, as I'm walking around, I've seen people reading the labels and, deciding whether that food's going to be healthy or not for them. Those are all indications of the marketplace that we service each day of the week as independent distributors, because we have access to a wide range of products that fit into many, many different product categories or health sectors, all of which are booming. Just some brief statistics on the screen there for those of you who are not familiar with our industry, which, by the way, most people who join us have not been involved in the health and wellness industry before. But it's a huge sector. The beauty sector, 8.4 billion. Sports nutrition, one of the most rapidly growing sectors that we see, along with weight management. Those two areas of our business, particularly weight management, have exploded in the last year. More and more people trying to find safe, natural ways of getting fit or losing weight. Vitamin and mineral supplements, one of the most rapidly growing sectors in the UK at 660 million. So as distributors, we have access to a wide range of products that help us service the growing need from consumers in those marketplaces. And very often, you find that it's just a question of sharing the benefits of our products with the people that we know, and them recognizing that maybe they need to change their brand. Does that make sense? Particularly in the personal care marketplace. How many people do you know with teeth and armpits? There's a lot of them out there, So if you can share with them the benefits of using something natural to clean their teeth, or wear a deodorant that's more natural and doesn't have any of the nasty side effects, you very quickly build a customer base of satisfied customers. And you can do that with the confidence knowing that Forever provide an unconditional 60-day money-back guarantee. That's not something that's available if they go into a high street shop to try the products there. And so it's a very comfortable way of us building a business, and at the same time being able to help our friends and family, people we know, stay fit and healthy. And we're the world leader in the production of products from the aloe vera plant and also from the beehive. And each year we reinvest millions of dollars of our profits into research and development so that we bring out the best possible products. Some of you will have heard the name Steve Hatchett, who is our head of research. He's the head of our company Forever Nutraceuticals, which is the company that make all of our nutritional supplements and products like RG. And he's also now the head of Aloe Vera of America, which is our manufacturing business for our aloe products. He in Hawaii made a very interesting statement that caught my attention, and he said that during his interview process, and Steve, by the way, has made nutritional supplements for I think about 2 decades actually, for other manufacturers. He had his own business making nutritional supplements. And he said what impressed him about the interview process when he came to Forever Living was nobody asked him to make supplements the cheapest that he possibly could. What they asked him to do was make the best possible supplements that he could. And that has always been the board's mantra, that if we're going to launch a product, it's going to be the best it can possibly be in its particular category. And that's why when you get to know some of our products, you'll see that there's very often uniqueness to them. And so it's not just a garlic that everybody else has, it's added things to it so that it performs in an optimum way. And that should give you a great deal of confidence, A, to use the products yourself so that you stay fit and healthy, and B, to share them with people that you come into contact with. The third driver to our business, and I think something that's definitely helping us here in the UK, I've seen it in my Icelandic market and my Irish market too, is that I believe there are more and more people out there now that are at that crossroads. Maybe they've got a job, but they're being expected to work longer hours for less money. Maybe they're not getting the recognition from their boss or from their company, sometimes which they've worked for many years. They're not getting the recognition that they think they deserve. Our petrol prices have got to be one of the highest in Europe, have you noticed? Our food prices are going up every single day, our gas and electric. And so many, many people are struggling to make ends meet, are wondering how they can make some extra money. And it's not practical to go into their boss and say, I'll tell you what, boss, I think I'm worth more money, can you pay me more? And so they're looking for ways in which they can get more control. And I believe that's one of the drivers that we're seeing the impact of here in the UK, more and more people looking for a way of getting more security. And we have a business that has nowhere near the cost of entry that most businesses would have. For less than £200, you can start your own business, a business that's got a blueprint, a business that's got lots of support around it, so that if you just follow the basic principles, be guided by your upline and your upline leaders, you too can replicate what's happened to many, many other people that have joined Forever around the Forever world. This method of marketing, called network marketing or multi-level marketing, is recognised worldwide. We have strong relationships with governments. I can tell you with our work in the Direct Selling Association, of which we've been active members for a long time, we have some very strong connections now with an all-party committee in the House of Lords, and that party committee is looking at entrepreneurship in the UK, and they are very taken with our model. And Chris Perkins, who I think is the Shadow Secretary for Small Business, is hosting a lunch for the DSA in September. And so, you know, government's now recognising that this is a really great way of ordinary people, individuals around the country being able to get into business for themselves, but not have the normal risk associated with getting into business. Over 500,000, or about 500,000 people in the UK are involved in our industry, about 9 million around Europe. And I can tell you, when we first started to engage with government here and started to share some of the statistics of our industry with government, they were shocked. We weren't even on their radar. They had no idea that here's an industry that helps people become entrepreneurial. One of the other things I think our industry does, and you might hear it today from the testimonials, is it helps people get more confidence in their own ability. And often I hear distributors say, you know, the benefits of Forever, of course, have been I've been able to make money and become independent financially, but probably the biggest benefit I've received is to be able to be more confident and grow as a person. And that's, you know, that's a great thing when you've sponsored that person. And I can tell you that over the years to come, as you build your business, the most probably rewarding thing that you'll feel is when you're at a success day and you see somebody that you sponsored going across the stage and getting some recognition. Many of you have already experienced that, I know. It's a great feeling to see that you've helped somebody develop as an individual. You'll see it in the testimonials. I see it because sometimes at the very early stages, and I can understand why it would be very nerve-wracking for somebody to give a testimonial from the stage, and I see that in the early stages of recognition, people often avoid eye contact with me in the hope I won't see them with the microphone. And then later on in the testimonials, you'll see people get so confident with the microphone, I'm trying to get eye contact with them so I can get the microphone back. So you'll observe this today. It's all about confidence. The fourth string to our bow, I believe, is that we know we can only continue to be successful as a business if we're able to support the individuals who get started with us. And so we have trainings going on the length and breadth of the country that are put on by the company. There are trainings being put on by your upline and your groups. There's websites that you can go to, DVDs that you can watch, books that you can read. And so if you're here for the first time, never having done anything like this before, I can promise you there's a raft of support and training in place to help you get the knowledge that you need in order to get started. And that training has been recognised by our trade association, the Direct Selling Association. We've won many awards from the association. Our most recent one in May was that we won the Excellence Award as a company for the excellence of support and training that we show our distributors. And we are also Investor in People recognised and have been for 3 terms, and the last 2 terms at champion status. That's the highest you can be as an IIP company. And that's an independent government body that was put in place and created to recognise best practice. And on a fairly regular basis, we open the doors of Longbridge Manor to a whole host of different companies who are trying to achieve Investor in People themselves, so that they can see what support and what structure we have in place. So I'd like to introduce you now to some of the team that form a very important part of our support structure. We have a very, very close relationship between the corporate side of Forever and our leading distributors, and it's our leading distributors in our VIP leadership team that help formulate some of our strategy, some of our plans. the trainings, the presentations that we do. And if you're here for the first time, that might seem a strange concept, that leading people would want to share the secrets of their success or share best practice with others. But I can tell you from working with our leaders for a long time now, we all recognise that this marketplace is so big and so untouched that by working together as a team, together everybody can achieve more. So I'd like you to recognise first our VIP leadership team for the great job that they do. If they'd like to stand, if you get a chance to meet these people today, go say hi to them. Thank you guys for the great job that you do there. Our next group is our VIPs. So this is the leadership committee along with our area development directors, our advisory board. Anybody who makes Eagle Manager in the year becomes a VIP manager. The top 50 distributors in the country are VIP. The top 20 in what we call open business. And any of our distributors that pick up what we used to call profit share, but we now call chairman's bonus. And that's one of the very exciting incentives that we have as a business, is that you can share in the success of the business. And that's our chairman's bonus qualifiers. If our VIPs would like to stand, I'd like to thank them for their great contribution. Thank you guys for all the hard work. The great example that you set to others. We have our advisory board team who always work hard, but have been working just harder than ever, I think, in the last year. As our business has grown, we've seen a need to put on more trainings on various aspects of the product range. Our advisory board have been involved with many meetings at head office, helping us provide better tools in the areas of weight management and sport, and you'll see those being launched over the coming weeks and months. If you're new to the business and just getting started, I really would encourage you to attend the advisory board training so that you can get a real sense of the power of the product range that we have. And so helping us on the advisory board team, we have Dr. Peter Atherton, who, a conventional GP for many, many years, has helped us open lots and lots of doors now in major hospitals in other areas, and has done a number of clinical trials using our product. And what's great about that is there's not just thousands of enthusiastic personal testimonials, but there's real scientific evidence now that aloe can help us obtain better health. So Peter, I can see you on the front row. Let's recognise Peter for the great job that he does. Bottom left, you have David, who's our resident vet, and again, from a conventional, science background. David also has gone on that exploration of seeing how natural products have a role to play alongside pharmaceutical solutions in the management of the health of animals. And many, many people now looking to help their animals in safe, natural ways as well. And David has helped us greatly he's helped me a lot in Ireland, actually, over the last year or so. We've had some great success with some international Irish show jumpers who've been using their products on their horses with great success, and we've had some good testimonials from them. And I can tell you what his latest project is. He's working with the gorilla in Dublin Zoo. I think he's got digestive problems or something. I know he's got some chimpanzees with something and a gorilla with something else, but he's in the zoo on a regular basis now, working with the head zookeeper of Dublin Zoo. And by the way, if ever you go to Dublin, go to the zoo. It's one of the best I've ever seen in the world, actually. And so David's in the gorilla cage on a regular basis. You'll probably be asking for more money soon. Do you think that sounds like a bit of a risky task? But as soon as we get some testimonials from there, no doubt we'll write them up in the magazine. And it just gives you an insight into the potential of our products there. David's not here today. I think they're at a family wedding, but maybe we can give him a round of applause in his absence that he might hear down in Somerset there. And then last but not least, bottom right, we have Dawn, our resident nutritionalist, skin care specialist, and Dawn's been rushed off her feet recently. In fact, since the start of the year, her weight management training classes have just been full, the length and breadth of the country. And that's really a reflection, as I say, of the growth in the weight management market. But over 20 years in the beauty industry before joining Forever. And as with all of our advisory board, what I love about them is that not only are they well qualified in their own field, but they're also successful distributors in their own right. And I really think that helps when you're attending their training, that it's not all just scientific, it's also also how to use that information out in the field with your customers. So is Dawn here today? Let's recognise Dawn for the great job she does. Is she anywhere? Can't see her. And supporting our advisory board and now actually specialising in some of our sports products. Louise has helped us greatly over the last, months actually, putting together a training specific for sports, and that's because we're seeing more and more sports people getting involved now. We're seeing a number of professional sports clubs that are using our product to great effect on professional athletes, and so if you get the chance over the coming months to go and see Louise do her sports training, she was at the Manor yesterday sharing it with the ADD group, and it's a really great training to give you an understanding of some of the sports products we have and how they work. So let's thank Louise for the great job she does. I can see her down there. Thanks, Louise. You've been working really hard lately as well. We really appreciate that. Thanks. It's going to be a great market for us, the sports market. Our next area of support comes from what we call our area development directors. So these are individual distributors that have built successful distributors and then help us manage parts of the country. And what I mean by that is that they are tasked with putting on opportunity meetings, putting on trainings, putting on social events. And that can be helpful to you and I in building our business perhaps at a longer distance, where we might have contacts in another part of the country. We can engage them with the ADD program there, knowing that they'll get support and can be involved with the social side of the business as well. So let's give our ADDs a recognition for the great job they do. If they'd like to stand. Thank you, guys. It's, they're a really, really committed group of people. We had our ADD meeting at Longridge yesterday with the head office team, and more and more as I hear what they do and they go the extra mile all the time, I recognise it's a great value to Forever Living that we've got people in place that will do that on a daily and weekly basis. And of course, they're supported by many, many people around the country who week in, week out, attend their local opportunity meeting and get involved with their local opportunity meeting. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank, in fact, anybody who gets involved with our meetings, running, hosting the door, speaking, please stand, because I'd like to thank you too for the great job that you do in helping others. So if you're here for the first time, I hope that's given you a little overview or a little insight into the story of Forever, and probably more importantly, the potential for you as a Forever distributor, where you can be confident that you have a secure future. This business has been successfully doing what we do for over 35 years and is going from strength to strength. And so if you put the time and effort into building your business, you can be confident that Forever's going to be there to support you and, more importantly, be around in the future to continue to pay you the bonuses that you've created as a result of your hard work. We also, on a very regular basis, have other incentives and other rewards that you can achieve, and we believe in encouraging people to go the extra mile. There are overseas incentive trips that you can go on. We were in Hawaii recently, a group of you were in Sardinia recently, and next year we're going to be in the O2 in London. You've got to get excited about the O2. I know it's not Hawaii and you won't need any suntan lotion, but it's going to be great. And we've got 20,000 empty seats in there at the minute, and it would be good to fill a few of them, do you think? I'd love to think that we could get 5,000 or 6,000 people from the UK as part of probably 15 or 20,000 that we will have in that arena in the O2 next April/May, because it would be just fantastic for those of you who've not experienced a global event before to get a sense of how big this organisation is, and to be blown away by over 2 or 3 half days. We haven't got the schedule fully finalised yet, but in Hawaii it was 3 half days. We gave away over $21 million to over 800 qualifying distributors from countries around the world. We had our own top leaders pick up $800,000. Imagine that. Imagine the worry of next year having to pick up similar amounts again. Pressure, John. What are you going to do with it? Jane will think of something, that's good. But it's an amazing event, and you need to get that in your diary and encourage your team to be there. And this is an opportunity that's available to anybody who's 18 through to people in their later years. And as I said, if you're here for the first time today, we thank you for giving up your time on what is going to be another hot, sunny Saturday, but I know it's going to be time well spent as you get a better sense of the opportunity that exists for you within Forever.